And now, it's the Huddle Preview Show powered by 956sports.com on Fox Sports 1700. A look at upcoming high school football games this week. And now your host, Jake Berry.
Welcome to the Huddle on Fox Sports 1700, the iHeartRadio app, and 956sports.com. I'm Jake Berry alongside with Coach Boswell. Clay Williams will be joining us in a bit, but if you're a big fan of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you got to like that song.
Or the Beatles.
Or the Beatles, yeah, but I just think about Ferris Bueller dancing.
Well, it dates us because I was around when this was actually out before it was in a movie.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This is the 60s. I was alive in the 60s.
This is, you're not, there's no way. I was thinking 29.
Yeah, 29.
Just like when I go out and they all think I'm like 24.
Yeah, until you take your hat off.
And I lost my hair. But we're at week 7 of Valley High School football, and some big games this week. We had some big games last week, and we're going to have Coach Patrick Brown of the Los Fresnos Falcons on. Coach, you're going to be doing a game with them.
Right. Joe Aguilar and I will be doing that game for K-West. Los Fresnos, Wesco East. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, Wesco East suffering from some injuries. When I say some, they're running backs.
Yeah, they've lost about 3,000 yards to injuries. Roy Pedraza, Freddie Gonzalez, and last week, J.C. Vargas. So we'll see how Coach Burgett and the crew respond from that.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for them with all the expectations on Wesco East to lose that many players consecutive. Like boom, boom, boom. That's it,
and
it
all
just
left
hurts.
Legs.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but they're not the only ones suffering through injuries in the games that you cover. Wesco had a big hit.
Right. Jacob Cavazos, sophomore quarterback, has done a really good job for the Panthers so far this year. Breaks collarbone. I believe he had surgery Monday. And we'll see how the Panthers respond I think they have the Cardinals this week.
Yeah, and the good thing is on Thursday this week, I don't actually have to go out to any games. So there's no games in McAllen. I have to do the pregame on those games. And so I'm going to be choosing. I'm not going to say I'm doing it right now, but there's some big games on Thursday. Let's just look at the games. Economides will play PSJ High. You've seen Economides. PSJ High, though, is undefeated.
Well, I got to see PSJ scrimmage Wesco before the season, and I've got to talk to Coach Rodriguez. And let me tell you what, he's got a great quarterback. He's got a good system. Right now he's got things rolling pretty well. Yeah,
and they'll be playing Economides on Thursday at PSJ Stadium. Edinburgh High, they're 1-0 in district, I believe. Oh, no, 1-1, 1-1 in district. PSJ Memorial, is 2-0. Congratulations to Coach Uribe. They face off on Thursday.
Yeah, Coach Uribe got that thing kind of going in the right direction. All the arrows are pointing up right now. Let's see if he can keep that rolling.
Actually, I don't know where the games are because both of them say they're at PSJ Stadium. I don't think that's possible, but we'll just play by ear. PSJ North and Edinburgh North. Okay, that's just not
all
possible.
Those games on Thursday are not possible, I don't believe.
Okay, we need to fix that scoreboard that I'm looking at. Okay, it looks like, but PSJ North is playing Edinburgh North this week. PSJ North is still winless on the season. They don't have the numbers. They don't have the veteran leadership that you probably need, right now.
It still shocks me a little. Coach Kaufman, just a great coach, and I'm sure he'll get that thing straightened out.
Yeah. And they're going to face Edinburgh North. Edinburgh North hasn't been world beaters either. So, the game looks like it could go Edinburgh North's way, but you never know with that with that squad. And they're dealing with a backup quarterback also. Juarez Lincoln faces off against Mission High. Juarez Lincoln should take that game, but I've seen Mission High already this year, and they look pretty good.
Yeah, that's an interesting game right there. You've got the tradition and the name maybe of Mission High, but you got the upper encumbrers over there at Juarez Lincoln, and they've really been good this year.
Yeah, and they're a feel-good story.
Oh, sure.
But Detmer and his group, I saw them play McAllen Memorial, and McAllen Memorial jumped on them early. But if not, it's a reasonably even game, and they can put up points because I saw them do it against McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, those guys will be all right.
Brownsville Lopez faces off against Donna High. Brownsville Lopez undefeated. Donna High needs this win.
Donna needs this win, and Lopez needs to keep riding the wave.
Yes, and talk about feel-good stories. What they did last year, coming back this year, and when I talked to Coach Starkey in the summer, he didn't think he had that much returning, and looks like some coaching and some kids that believe.
Yeah, we talked to him 3 weeks ago here on air, and a very impressive young man.
Yeah, Ed Calchelsea, another one in that district, playing Brownsville veterans, and that's a big game because Ed Calchelsea, they want to keep pace with Brownsville vets and Mercedes, and if they get this win, they go into a tie for the district title or district top spot. Yeah,
Coach Cantu, since he opened that over there at veterans, they've just done a great job. Got Coach Dave Evans on the defensive side. Ed Couch is formidable. That would be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, and Coach Cantu's got weapons. He's got probably the offensive MVP, one candidate at least, in Gustavo Vasquez. Gustavo's been playing well. There's one where he, if you haven't seen the highlights, you can go on to 956sports.com. He extends and flies into the end zone. It was a beautiful one, hitting the edge, going right over the top. But those are Thursday games. On Friday, Brownsville Hannah plays Harlingen South. You saw Hannah. What were your impressions?
Hannah's very explosive. I didn't have a lot of information on them going in. I heard they had a good running back. But there's a guy named Joe Cavazos III. I believe that's his name. It is a big play waiting to happen. Like, he's one of those guys that when the ball's in his hand, you kind of hold your breath. Because
you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it might go. He might cut all the way back. He had a 50-yard run where he probably had 150, 200 yards invested in the 50-yard run.
Yeah, impressive for him as well. Looks like Clay is at the door, but he can't get in right now. So we'll be there in a second, Clay. Going through the schedule, Harlingen High plays Westlake High. Westlake. I've seen Harlingen. I get to actually see their huddle stuff. They've been playing impressive. Ever since that first loss against Mission Vets, they have steadily put it together. And they didn't have a lot of pieces coming back that they could really rely on. And it seems like Manny Gomez has it clicking. Westlake is suffering through an injury.
Yeah, well, Wesco, the nice thing is they have Marco Leal. So, they were having two quarterbacks kind of go back and forth. And Marco Leal is a veteran kid. And they also have a guy named Elijah Bonda who hasn't got to play a lot at quarterback that people were telling me before the season that they felt like would be a good quarterback. And we'll see how they respond. But Jacob Cavazos is out with a collarbone. Yeah,
and that should be a reasonably good game. If you look at it, Michael Salinas was at Vela before this, and there was this I don't want to say, what's the nice way of saying it? A lot of coaches, I don't want to say were jealous, but they were winning. And when you're winning, and especially at a new program, people start to go,
Well, that's not supposed to happen. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah. And so, this might be one of those things where, Harlingen finally gets to play, Manny Gomez gets to go against Michael Salinas. It's not the matchup we were kind of hoping for if you were really going to look at, two heavyweights. You want really Westlake, what Westlake and Harlingen used to be. This is a kind of a depleted Westlake team, but you never know what the game could be.
Well, it's not really depleted much as it's growing and learning. You got to remember everything these kids know about football has changed in the last 6 months. So,
what was the kid's name from Westlake that left to Louisiana? I liked him in the summer.
Michael Martin.
Watching. Yeah, that kid would have made a difference, at least on the defense. He was a linebacker?
No, he was a running back receiver. In this offense, I could have seen him doing some of the things that JC does. Jump back there and run the wildcat, play receiver, catch the bubbles, get
Scat
deep,
back.
Return kicks. He's from a really good family. His mom is the dean of students, I believe, at LSU. So, going to Louisiana was something that.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big stretch. He wanted to be here, but then he changed.
Well, and I heard Mama said no.
Oh,
Your senior year, I want my son.
I want you next to me.
Yeah.
San Benito plays Brownsville Rivetta. San Benito still trucking along at first place in the Valley.
Legit team.
Yes, very much so. And if you've seen their running back, Harper.
Yes.
He is incredible as far as size-wise. Trevor Spates was a specimen. So was he. Lupe Moron was a tall running back.
This guy's like Lupus.
Yeah, about 6 foot. Yeah, he's. I stood next to him on the sideline. Good-sized kid.
Yeah.
and they've got a great quarterback. And Clay, welcome in.
Hey,
how you doing?
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late. Nobody would open the door for me.
Clay was at Boxeo.
Yes. You know, a little boxing preview, a little media workout for Brandon Figueroa, who's going to be fighting this weekend. But I couldn't help but notice that you were talking about Weslaco, and I don't want to jump back one, but you know they've got they let up more yards on their defense than any other team in the district, and that's the first thing that's got to change there. I think if they want to compete, you got to have a defense against these teams that are you know running it and you know keep throwing it at you, and a team like San Benito, you know, they don't have to worry about. I mean, they're going to have to worry about them. Weslaco needs to improve their defense if they're gonna make the playoffs.
Well, part of that's ball control and part of that's turnovers too, because the defense is getting a lot of chances right.
You can't leave them on the field that long.
Not in today's football. Back in the day, you could leave a team out there a little bit and they could fight and bend and not break, but teams are too explosive to stay on the field that long.
Yeah, exactly. If your defense can't get a team off the field after 3 downs, then all of a sudden they're they're bending over, holding their knees, especially getting a little gassed.
These up-tempo offenses and Pioneer Eddie Galindo, who used to teach at Edinburgh High with me, he gets his guys up to the line so quick. I mean, it's faster than Sherryland. It's faster than anything I've seen, even Mission Vets. And they get up to the line, and it's like, man, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to get set, because if you're not, they're gonna hike that ball, and you're gonna be out of position. You almost can't do. Remember, Harlingen had that kid, defensive end. He would play Mingo Rincon,
yes,
and he would play way outside, but he would get set up on that. But I'd like to see him against a fast-paced offense where he had to get down really quick.
Well, against San Benito last week, Weslaco East caught San Benito looking to the sideline for a signal and snapped the ball and ran a toss down the sideline for about 65 yards.
Really?
Just what you're talking about, guys like Peyton Manning and some of the good college quarterbacks can catch you with 12 guys on the field or get a free play. The way football's played when I played it has changed, yes.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
Goodness.
So.
Hey, you were talking about Pioneer and their offense, and I was at that game the other night against Mission Veterans. Yeah, they'd get up there quick, and you know what? I think Pioneer might have hit on something in that second half, because they could not get anything going. They only scored 10 points in the first half, but that second half, they went to an empty backfield, and it was just Jacob Rosales, their quarterback, in the back, and he had 3 to the right and 2 to the left, and then alternate, and so on and so forth, and they exploded. I mean, they scored, 35, 40 points in the second half, after scoring only 10 in the first. They've hit on something in that offense. Yeah, they ended up losing by 23 by that time, because, Mission Veterans is extremely explosive as well. But Pioneer hit on something with that offense in that second half against Mission Veterans the other night. Yeah,
I mean, because Coach, tell me if I'm wrong, but you have to decide if you're either going to have a bunch of linebackers out there covering receivers, or if you're going to go small, but then you open up the middle too for the quarterback to run.
Well, yeah, if that guy's got any ability, you got to have at least 5 in the box.
Yeah.
But you got 5 to cover. If you put 6 in the box, they're definitely going to throw a bubble or something, because everybody's blocked out there. Then if you run one of them in motion, then you just cause all kinds of havoc and maybe run a jet sweep or something off of that. So, yeah, you make them make a decision, which is fun for an offensive coach to do.
Well, today we get to find out for this next game, Weslaco East and Los Fresnos. We're going to have Patrick Brown on from Los Fresnos, and we'll get to ask him. We probably can't ask him too much. He's not going to want to get into detail. But we'll ask him, how his team's, playing so well for a team that was supposed to not make the playoffs. From a lot of people predicted them to be the fifth team in that district.
Well, you can't foresee injuries. You can't foresee failures. There's a lot of things you can't foresee.
Oh,
yeah. And plus, you don't know. They're still a one high school town, so I've got to imagine they had some talent on their JV.
Yeah.
And those guys have played and played and played in that system, and then they move up and they're ready to plug right in.
Yeah, and the second year under Patrick Brown as well, second year in the system, everybody's automatically going to be better. So even if they did lose a lot of guys, just the guys who are coming back, having that knowledge of what Coach wants definitely makes a difference.
And their line, if you haven't seen them, is huge. Again, they always have big hogs. You know, from Eloy Atkinson, Mario Benavides. You know, the Springer boys weren't linemen.
Michael Mendez is starting right now at Purdue.
They probably had more D1 linemen than anybody.
And at one point, they had a quarterback. What was his name? That big kid. He was the size of a lineman at quarterback. What was his name? Mendez?
I can't remember. Right
I don't know, but he was thick, and I just remember him just crushing kids. And it was the funniest thing because you'd watch a little tiny linebacker try to and I say tiny linebacker compared to this guy. You know, they'd wrap around his waist, and he'd just carry him from like 4 yards. But that's Weslaco East and Los Fresnos. PHA Southwest and Vela will face off at Richard Flores Stadium in Edinburgh. McAllen Memorial. I'll be at this game on Friday. This is the DQ Texas football. What is it? Game of the week.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah,
close enough.
You know, look, they're not paying me. McAllen Memorial and Mackay are facing off, and you know what? Mackay is playing their best football of the season. McAllen Memorial is coming back after those 2 losses to San Benito and Los Fresnos. I'm happy to be at that one.
That's going to be a great game. That's a rivalry game. It's a very interesting game. McAllen Memorial is riding high now because they got their quarterback back. Angel Almaguer is back. And the fact that Sean Scugan had to play quarterback for a little while, that only makes it better for him. You know, the fact that he was out there and got those reps. You know, even if he's not playing quarterback out there, you know what Coach Littleton's going to do. He's going to use him any way he can.
He can wildcat him.
Yeah, he can wildcat him. He can put him out in the slot. He can, you know, whatever. And that is going to. That's a team that now that they've got their general back, that's huge for them. And you know they're going to run the ball a lot. Yeah, but it's going to be great. And now Mackay looking better. Now that is Aaron Nixon the guy now? Is Aaron Nixon the guy for the McAllen Bulldogs at quarterback? Because it sure looks like he is. You know, he's a University of Texas commit in baseball. He's an athlete, pure and simple. He gets, you know, you want the ball in his hands, and Coach Brewer started putting it in his hands this last game. And, you know, if he's the man, then all of a sudden that Mackay offense is going to take off. You know, he's got a great weapon in Gunnar Henderson. This could be a high-scoring game. It could be a very fun game. Well, it's going to be a fun game because it's one of the best rivalries in the Valley. These two teams, it's one of the most fun. There's not a whole lot of hate. There's a whole lot of fun in that rivalry.
Let's quickly, we got about 3 minutes. Let's go through the rest of the games. Brownsville Porter, McAllen Rowe, Nicky Rowe versus Palmview. You know, that it looks like Rowe's game to lose.
Yeah. Rose got way too much offense, and Palmview
and
doesn't
we'll
have
do
any.
picks at the end, so I don't want to like kill the suspense. So let's see, Laredo Nixon against Mission Vets. That is a hiccup game if there ever was a hiccup game for Vets because you can't really.
Where
sleep
is
on
that
those
game
guys.
being played?
It's
Mercedes.
It says Tom Landry, but it's not.
Yeah, no, that game is at Mercedes on Friday night.
Oh, okay.
That game's at Mercedes.
Okay.
Mission Veterans plays Laredo Nixon at Mercedes at
That's
the new
good.
Tiger Stadium
That way it's
on
close.
Friday night.
That's way it's close to Mission. Yeah,
hey, you know what? Is that a little gamesmanship? You make Laredo go an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, hey, why not? That's for first place in the district, man.
Yeah.
That's a huge game.
Roma versus Valley View. We've got Pioneer. This is another good one. This is in Starr County at Rio. Pioneer plays Rio Grande City, and Rio is playing very well. Pioneer reeling from another loss, and but they've had some bad beats, but they haven't lost to bad teams. So
that's two good quarterbacks,
yes.
Jacob Rosales and Perez from Rio Grande City,
and two good coaching staffs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Aaron Garcia is a defensive mastermind. He's gonna try and figure out a way. He's seen the film on Pioneer and how they played in the first half as to how they played in the second half.
Yeah, so he'll have that wrinkle that he's gonna have to look at. Laredo Sig playing Sherryland at Sherryland, so should be an interesting game.
Interesting in the fact that it'll be over by halftime.
Yes, I know. PI versus Rio Hondo. Let's go through the teams, and then we'll go through them later. Progresso plays Orange Grove. Raymondville versus West Oso. It's a basketball school, so guess where my pick's going. Zapata versus La Feria. Kingsville King versus Hidalgo. Monte Alto versus London. Falfurrias versus Lyford. San Diego versus Santa Rosa. You know what San Diego stands for? Ron Burgundy told me it's a. You forget it. Ben Bolt versus La Villa, and Mercedes on Saturday versus Brownsville Pace, and those are our games for this week. So
an interesting slate for Week 7 of Valley High School.
Yeah,
football.
good slate though.
Yes.
No duds across the board like some years. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have we're still going to have Patrick Brown on. We're going to talk our picks and other jibber jabber.
Don't want none of your jibber jabber.
You're listening to The Huddle on Fox Sports 1700, brought to you by McDonald's. And we're on the iHeartRadio app and 956sports.com. Be right back.